So, Ondo Finance, you know how much I broke this down on the channel, but today we're talking about what would it look like if you had 1,000 Ondo. As part of the ongoing series, I've been talking about top altcoins that I think, well, it might just be worth having 1,000 of them. What could that look like in the future? Why is it so important? And why are we putting together one of the craziest list of altcoins you've ever seen? Well, stick around, hit that like button, and don't forget, make sure you turn that notification bell to all. That way you're updated with all our latest content, live streams, and everything else you need to know. And with that being said, let's get into the video. Now, like I said, this is a series we've been doing for a while. By the way, don't forget, if you want to join our memberships, it's a few bucks a month. Definitely worth it. Come to the channel, click join. But I want to talk about what coins or tokens should you buy 1,000 of. And today's video is about Ondo Finance going into the list along with SUI, XDC, XLM, HBAR, and XRP. So the reality is, why is Ondo one of those coins that I think should be in this list? Well, recently they had some pretty big announcements and they hit some new milestones. For in fact, Ondo Finance launched over 100 US stocks and ETFs on Ethereum, pushing the Ondo token towards $1. Now, it's still under that $1 price point, giving it a great opportunity to look at now. Tokenization is enabling 24/7 access, fractional shares, and greater transparency. And in fact, Ondo Finance is, well, doing it by itself. It's been a massive opportunity for many people to get in. And just for understanding sake, you need to understand how big the treasury market is and, more importantly, how big those ETF markets are. Now, yes, Ondo Finance is only at 100, but imagine when it has the entire treasury market and ETF market going through not only Ethereum, but Ondo as well. Well, here it is. The overall macro look at these: $11.5 trillion in the current US ETF market and $28.5 trillion in the US treasury market. That's a pretty big number running through potentially Ondo Finance, giving access to everybody in the world that, well, is just going to be buying some of these. And remember, when you look at Bitcoin ETFs, as well as some of the top S&P 500 ETFs, well, they've outperformed savings accounts as well as everything else. So why wouldn't people go to look at buying these? Very bullish indeed. And looking at core fundamentals of Ondo Finance, look at what it's doing right now. It is exploding. Stablecoin market is skyrocketing, as well as fees, revenue, and incentives all starting to make some things happen. Ondo liquidity is on the move, and we know the TVL crossing over 1.461 billion. That's the total value that's currently locked up on the chain. And this is good news. And in fact, this movement to the upside tells us that Ondo Finance is going one way, and that one way is up. But that's not all. We've had some pretty big moves and, more importantly, some pretty big announcements, with many people looking at Ondo Finance as the future of finance. In fact, giving the average investor the opportunity to get into crazy things like treasury yields and much more. This is why we're seeing huge companies like BitGet, as well as Binance and many others, all start to look at what's going on with Ondo Finance. Themselves saying here, billions globally were excluded from the world's largest capital markets. Ondo Global Markets is changing that. This is where it gets pretty exciting. Look at the global markets on top of treasuries and ETFs. You suddenly start to get into a world of tokenized stocks and much more. And think about this: all of your top favorite currencies, importantly, companies you can get involved in as well, whether that's Apple, Uber, PayPal, Nike, and many more. All will be running through the blockchain, and all will be running through, well, you named it, Ondo Finance. So the question therefore is, well, what could the price prediction be for Ondo? Many people believe we're going to see double digits. Could it even break $1? Think about it, a $40 trillion capital market running through Ondo Finance, all on the freaking Ethereum chain. Well, it could be pretty bullish if you ask me, and certainly could see some skyrocket in price. Now, like we said, in the short term, FYI, as I try and find the price here while you guys are listening, 90 freaking cents. An absolute steal right now, in my opinion. Not financial advice on this channel, but looking like this could be a very bullish move. Now, also very bearish here on the chart, so watch out. We're in a downtrend as long as the rest of the market. However, I think that could break, and Ondo Finance, in my opinion, could be set for a big move. So if you're looking for definitely a play for the future and something right now, well, if you just bagged yourself 1,000 coins of, what does that look like? Could that be a 10G play? Maybe it grabbed another zero and heads to 100,000. It's going to be good, and it's all going to depend on those treasury markets as well as ETFs and the global markets. But right now, well, they all seem to be going to Ondo Finance, and in my opinion, one to keep your eye out. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let me know which coins you want me to cover more. We've got some great ideas of coins that I think are going to do very well, but drop in the comments, what do you want to see me do a video on the 1,000 coins to have in your portfolio for this bull run? As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that memberships are live, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.